Check. Today on First Cup, we've got some quotes from Forest Whitaker. I'll tell you all about my weekend, and I don't know what else. We'll see what the coffee brings up. Stick around. We're live in 10. We're rolling in 10. We're already live. Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings. Okay. So, all right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today is Monday. It's February 7th, 2022. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning to all of you. Whether you're watching live or later or listening, thank you for dropping by. How was your weekend? Did you spend all of it shoveling snow? Friday. Remember Friday? Feels like it was a year and a half ago. Friday, I sat here talking to all of you going, wow, that's a lot of snow out there. That's crazy. Look at all of the snow. I didn't even leave the house. I didn't even go to the mailbox. It was just too much snow. I didn't want to deal with it. I just stayed here. Because if I left the house, I could probably have gotten out because the driveway slopes down. There's a good chance I wasn't getting back in. Because when the plow goes by, you've got these snow mounds that are pretty big at the end of the driveway. And I was like, I'm just not dealing with it. I'll deal with it tomorrow. So I got up Saturday and spent about 90 minutes, 2 hours on it between the snowblower and the shovel and just cleared it all out. Fortunately, it was light snow because if it had been heavy snow, if it had been wet snow anywhere close to that height, I'd probably still be going. Because, man, you ever run a snowblower? It can only handle so much at a time. And you just set it on the lowest setting and you walk behind it. And inevitably, even it being light snow, it would not quite jam up, but you just have to stop and let it clear out what's in there. And then when you're all done, you go back through, you set it a little bit faster and you walk a little bit quicker and you clean up what fell off the sides. And then you get the shovel and then you shovel the stuff you couldn't get to with the snowblower. But it's okay. Also, good morning to Dennis and Jenny and Andy. Good, everybody coming in. Who needs a gym when you have winter in Vermont? Ray says. It's true. There's a lot of exercise going on there. I checked my wristband when I was done, and it wasn't that much. It was like 1,200 steps, which is a little over half a mile. Walking back and forth for 2 hours. That's how slow I was walking. Very slow. What else did I do? I put this place together. Oh, you know what I did? There's a greenhouse right there. It's full of plants and lights and a humidifier. And I sunburned a couple of my plants. And then I went, oh yeah. And then I rearranged the plants. Was it last summer? I think it was last summer. No, 2 summers ago I sunburned plants. Poor plants. It's okay. But it's really nice. I walk in and it's all humid and warm. Kind of feels like being outside in the summer. I think I may have just hacked winter. Get yourself a greenhouse and get one big enough you can sit in it. And then sit in it and pretend it's not winter. Done. Frank says, that's what we got in Cincinnati. Wet snow that's hard to shovel. In Indiana, they called out the National Guard. Well, is that a judgment of the snow or is that a judgment of Indiana? Well, I don't like the heavy wet snow. We don't get heavy wet snow often because it's got to be in a certain temperature range, right? But when we do, inevitably, I'm not able to deal with it right away and it freezes into a block of ice. That's what happened in Maine. I was talking to a friend yesterday, the day before, and that storm, it just it just froze up, and he was out there banging on it with a shovel. What did he say? I think he put down 100 pounds of salt, and it's barely touching it. A lot of snow. A lot of snow. Jenny says, greenhouse is an adult version of a blanket fort. I'll agree. There's nothing wrong with having a blanket fort as an adult, though. There's really not. I don't think I have the number of pillows I would need. I have that whistlekick pillow. Oh, I wanted to show you guys a couple things. This is why I put them here. I haven't done the newsletter yet because there have been more pressing things. Those of you who are used to a newsletter weekly, we haven't done one of those in a while. Newsletters have fallen back to me, and they're going to be monthly, and I still haven't done the January one. But this is the new apparel item for February. Okay, it's just a plain logo tee. It replaced the past Essentials collection tee. This shirt is $19.99, free shipping, before any discounts. So that's why we did it. So if you need a basic t-shirt with the logo on it, there you go. What does it come in? Black, blue, gray, white? No fun colors on this shirt. This is a really inexpensive shirt, but it's not, the material's not bad. A lot of times you get low-end shirts and they feel like you're wearing a burlap sack. And I forgot last week, remember we've got the Karate Cat calendar, and I told you that I would show you the new months as they came through. Well, I was doing a bunch of cleaning and hanging posters. It's not a dorm, hanging pictures. They're actually framed, don't worry. I think the only thing not framed around here is my maps, because I wasn't spending the exorbitant amount of money that map would cost me. That would probably be $500 to frame. I'm not doing that. But here's the February one. It says, Kitty Kai have no mercy. And it's one kitten. For those of you listening, it's one kitten wearing a Miyagi-Do headband, one wearing a Cobra Kai headband, and a third one just getting beaten up. But it's fun, and they're cats, and it's cute. So there you go. Anything else happened this weekend? Went to the gym a couple times, went to the grocery store, went to a local gun show, realized I was probably never, ever going to buy anything at a gun show. The prices were terrible. You know where here's my theory. My theory, based on the 2 times I've been to gun shows in my life, is that gun shows are a place for old men to tell stories. That the old men who come in pay their admission so they can tell their stories to the people at the table, and the people at the tables listen to the stories, kind of like a therapist, and then try to sell them, a Rusty magazine from an M1 Garand, because that's what he used in whichever war or conflict. I saw so many people, nobody was buying anything. And most of the tables had the weirdest collection of stuff you would imagine. It's like, here, buy this loose ammunition. It's just such an interesting environment. And then I went to the range and shot. Oh, I'll show you this because I've been showing you some of my progress. Good morning, Mark. Oh, and I missed this from Jenny. Jenny says, blanket. I said adults can have blanket forts. She says, very few blanket forts are still amazeballs. Good morning. Good morning. Dennis says, you left out when you went to the gym. You put on a gun show. Woo! I hope all of you get the chance to hear Dennis say woo himself one day, because it is fun. All right. If this notification that just came in is UPS telling me that my new computer is not coming today either, I think it is. I'm gonna. Oh, you guys are the worst. Oh, Nope, that's an Amazon one. When did I order that laptop? Wednesday? Still not here. I paid extra for them to ship it soon. It didn't get into a box until Friday. I was annoyed about that. But here, I'll show you this. That's my target at 10 yards. So, yeah. I'm shooting decently well. I'm happy with it. Time to move on. Work on another weapon, I guess. Did any of you do that if you grew up in a school with martial arts weapons, were you tightly confined with what you could learn, or were you encouraged to try other stuff? See, for me, we grew up, the only two weapons we were really taught in class, we were taught bow and we were taught tunfa. Bow, you would generally start like yellow belt, blue belt, and then tunfa, you had to know the tunfa kata for brown belt. And I think you had to know the bow kata for blue belt. I think for blue belt. But we were encouraged to use nunchaku. Those were kind of the third, but those were just kind of hanging out. I learned sai more or less on my own. I had some help. Sword, more or less on my own. But we were encouraged. So now, hey, if I'm shooting this weapon well, let's try another one. And Stacy is reminding me that Dennis will be at All In Weekend, and everyone will get to hear him woo then. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. It reminds me, there's an episode of How I Met Your Mother that's pretty much based around saying woo. Great show. All right, let's turn to submissions. So Dennis has a great question, and I'm going to save that one for the end because I've got a feeling a bunch of you will jump in and share your thoughts on that. But before that, Frank gave us some good stuff. Here, we're going to do this. And then we go over here. Oh, we'll close that. And we're here. Share screen. Window. This one. And now we take a look at Black History Month. Academy Award-winning actor Forest Whitaker is known for films like The Last King of Scotland, Bird, Ghost Dog, and The Butler. But did you know he also holds a black belt in karate? I did. And I would love to have Forest Whitaker on the show. He's been on a list for a long time. The List. Would love to talk to that guy because he seems like a cool guy. He just seems like a really chill guy that would be fun to interview. Do I have 4 interviews tomorrow? Ooh. Maybe we'll get him on the show someday. The way we keep stacking names, Andrew's knocking it out of the park. Who knows what'll happen? And then Frank gave us a couple quotes from Forest Whitaker. And let me read them. I'm going to have to come up with a slightly better way to do this. Frank and I are retooling. We're trying these things. All right. 1, I went through 2 schools of acting, but I learned more about acting from meditating and from my martial arts teacher. How many of you feel that you could step into an acting class with more skill as an actor than the average person stepping into the class because of your martial arts training? I would say most of you. I would really think it would be most. Because We have a better understanding of our body than the average person who doesn't train. We have a lot of us who have spent time really working on forms. We're able to project and present emotion, energy. And that's pretty important in acting. I've always thought I would make a decent actor. And who knows, I'm not dead yet. Plenty of time. I would love to I would love to bring about a new golden age of cheesy martial arts movies. It's on the radar. Like I want to get there. And I think we can do it. It's just one of those things that, we need to have more people and money to make happen. Because I could totally see us knocking out a movie in 2 weeks, sell it off to Netflix, put 20 grand back in, and repeat. Could be fun. Good morning, Brian. Mark says, easy. Stacy says, we'd certainly know how to project our voices. I agree. All right. And then the next quote, the second quote from Forest Whitaker here. Oh, there's 3. I read poorly. I try to be like a forest. Oh, that's funny. Hold on. Wasn't supposed to laugh there. I try to be like a forest, revitalizing and constantly growing. If you want to see something really interesting, look at the stages of a forest. Succession, the idea that you have a grassland and certain plants grow, and then certain other plants grow, and then some plants grow taller and they create shade, and then some plants prefer to grow in there, and it just, and the end result for any forest is fire. And it burns down and it starts over. I think that's really interesting. I hear the hydroponics. Kelly says, every time I teach, I put on a show. I once had a parent come watch class who didn't train, but left her ill daughter, who was a student at home. Oh, I get it. Okay. You got a parent who came to watch class just to watch class, even though the kid was at home. I get it. That's funny. That is a show. If someone's willing to do that, you're putting on a show for sure. Stacy says, for someone who is not fond of public speaking, when breaking in a tournament, I can be heard across a gym through the noise with a ki. I have heard you do that. Granted, on recordings, but I've heard you do that. I think that's awesome. And Kelly says, sorry, not enough coffee. That's okay. It's literally the premise of the show. Let's have more together. And then our third quote here from Forest Whitaker. We have to not just open our eyes to what's going on in other places. We need to open our eyes to what's going on right in front of us. We spend a lot of time. Oh, there's a sneeze brewing. We spend a lot of time worried about big things far away that are outside of our control. We literally argue with each other, get into debates that end in the loss of friendship and family over things that we have no control over, that don't affect us and exist far away. I think that's the silliest thing ever. But what about what's going on right in front of you? You can control that. You have complete control over you and how you show up and what you do. And that is the premise of 12 Months to Health. Little steps in the right direction. We've been conditioned to worry about everything else and to literally and figuratively just take a pill, the problems will go away. That's not the way the world works. Problems don't occur, whatever they are. Very rarely does a problem exist because something happened overnight. It doesn't happen that way. It happens because of a buildup of a bunch of little things. Even a volcanic eruption, it's a bunch of stages of pressure building. You have the end result, the explosion. It's dramatic. In this case, probably unavoidable given our current technology, but it didn't just happen overnight. I wish more of us would spend more time worried about what's happening right in front of us. The little things that we can control, how we treat other people, how we treat ourselves, what we eat, etc. Frank says, like the Japanese concept of Kaizen, continuous improvement. Yeah. Andy's agreeing. He says, correct. Oh, I think I got a better way to do this. Frank, how would you feel if we had each quote on a separate graphic? Because then I can line them up here, it looks like. And I can just go back and forth. Yeah, that would work pretty well. Let me know if you're willing to do that. If not, you can talk about it. A little bit of behind the scenes there for you. And then Dennis has this great question. If time, travel, and money were no object, what martial arts style or styles would you study next and why? If time wasn't the object, if time and money weren't the object, I wouldn't be doing as much consulting work, and I would be doing less of the day-to-day on whistlekick. Other people would take care of a lot of that. So I'd have plenty of time to train. And I would probably train I want to do some kind of Chinese style, whether it's Kung Fu or Wushu. I really would like to spend some time on that. The tiny fraction of Wushu that I've done was really intriguing and felt like something that was challenging. And I enjoy being physically challenged. But second to that, it's not about the style, it's about the person. I've trained enough in enough different things with enough different people that it's not a question of technique anymore. It's not a question of style for me. It's a question of person. Because we all know this, right? I could go train in Shotokan with two different people, one of whom, same curriculum, one of whom could help me advance dramatically as a martial artist. The other might actually regress me. It depends on how they teach, why they teach, etc., who they are. And so when I think of where do I want to train, my mind goes to people. Who would I want to train with? Everybody. When I was in New Jersey, I think I mentioned to all of you, I had the chance to do a short seminar. Actually, not even, did we do the whole thing? Yeah, did the whole thing with a guy who was in Kung Fu Hustle, and he was hysterical. I had a lot of fun learning, and his concepts, he took things that I understood somewhat and really simplified it. I mean, he gave us brilliant instruction. Those are the kind of people I want to train with. People who make me think, who make me, as I come out of a class, just go, whoa, okay. I could work that for another 40 hours and still have more to unpack from that 1 hour of class. Right? So I think that's my answer. But if I'm going to confine myself stylistically, because that really is the question that was asked, and I try to respect the question. I find Filipino martial arts fascinating. I've done, a little bit. And for me, Filipino martial arts really seem, the Kali, the Eskrima, broadly defined Southeast Asian martial arts really seem like kind of a sweet spot given where we are as a society, both in what we need for training and the applicability, the application, the realism, or the utility, there we go, of the art. Knives and sticks. Most people, a lot of us carry a knife. Most people can find a stick or something to function as a stick. The principles will extend beyond the specific weapons. So I'd like to spend some more time doing that. And from what I've learned, and I think Mark is still in the chat, he'll probably chime in on this. Oh, there's that sneeze again. Come on. Either just come or go. Come on. Drive me nuts. My understanding of Filipino martial arts, for specifically, or for example, is that the styles are as dramatically different as, say, styles of Okinawa martial arts. That there are really different takes on the same thing. I'm back. Sneeze is gone. Yay. So I think that would be on the list. Historical European martial arts. I would love to put on some armor and, smash swords. That'd be fun. All of it. I just want to do all of it. I really do. If there was someone who was willing to teach me judo without smashing me into the ground, I would do judo. Thank you. Got a bunch of bless yous and gesundheits. Thank you. My heart didn't stop. Everybody know that's why we say, God bless you. Believe that the heart stops when you sneeze. Hopefully it restarts. That's what I read one time a long time ago. Could be false. Who knows? I have about 462 meetings today. One of them relates to martial arts, and that'll be this evening. I have a dinner meeting with someone. And there will be more, if that goes the way it's supposed to, there will be more coming out about that soon. So, okay. I hope you have a great day. I hope you leave me stuff to talk about for tomorrow. If you want to leave questions, comments, drop them on Facebook, facebook.com/firstcupwithjeremy. If you don't do Facebook, maybe you're in Facebook jail. Maybe you don't like Facebook. Email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. If you want to support us, a couple of easy ways. We've got a Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick, where we post exclusive content you're not going to find anywhere else. And we throw out bonus merch and all kinds of cool stuff. So check that out. You can also use the code FirstCup15 to save 15% on something like this shirt, or not this version of the hoodie, but one of the other versions of the hoodie at whistlekick.com. And if you want the entire list of all the things you can do to support us in our mission, as well as some additional bonus free behind the scenes material, whistlekick.com/family. You got to type it in. It's not linked. We do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, on Facebook, on YouTube, and other places like today, Twitter, tomorrow, probably Twitch. We'll just see what's going on. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all. And everyone's saying goodbye. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Go crush life. Take care. Peace.